At the end of December 2019, our visitor economy was actually worth $32.5 billion, and we employed over 250,000 people directly and indirectly in our industry. 110,000 of those were actually in regional towns and cities.
Victoria's event industry is a large, well-established industry that organises more than 120,000 events a year that are worth more than $12 billion in terms of direct economic spend, and employs over 70,000 people. While there is much emphasis on the small number of really big events, it's actually the 100,000+ other events that make the greatest contribution to life in Victoria and contribute the most in terms of employment and economic activity.
In fact, the music industry pre-COVID per year was inputting more money into the economy than all of our sporting together does. And we're known as the sporting capital of the world.
Every year we manage and create over 230 events. The majority of those were worldwide, in excess of 200, moving 15,000 delegates, 35,000 travel sectors, and we would run and create over 20 online reward programs.
Between my two venues, we were probably somewhere around, about maybe a 4 million annual turnover.
We're part of the business events industry, and as an industry, we're the people behind just about every event you've been to, be it a TED Talk, an industry association conference, or even a political party conference. We coordinate the presenters, the staging, the lighting, entertainment, branding, catering, the lot. We bring together dozens and dozens of people to deliver the events that our community values.
I can tell you that the top line numbers is we expect about 40% of businesses to close and another 43% to shed their staff.
I've got business owners who are mates for years who are now paying their staff off their credit cards, who are selling their houses that they've worked all their lives for. That's the reality of losing JobKeeper. That's the reality where we are.
Just recently, I was supposed to deliver a show for the Adelaide Festival. We'd loaded a truck. I was ready to drive. On the Thursday was when the Victorian Government announced the circuit breaker. Immediately, all of my travel documents into South Australia were cancelled because I lived in Melbourne.
It wasn't a reduction of revenue. It really has to be described as an industry shutdown. Our revenues, and we're a big business, 1,200 people pre-COVID, our revenues reduced by 98% from March onwards all the way to December of 2020.
Last year, post the border closures and lockdowns, our regional tourism body, Murray Regional Tourism, surveyed tourism businesses along the Murray and found that the impacts on the accommodation sector were immense. The report found that in winter 2020, with the borders closed, an average size motel, around about 20 rooms, lost between 20 and 30,000 a month. And in January 2021, with the Victorian border closing, the same size motel estimated its losses to be between 120 to 150,000 for that month. It was peak season.
It will cost you $10,000 for lighting and sound. It might cost you, based on if you get 1,500 people come in through the door, then you pay X amount of dollars for that. And I think that's what we've tried to work, because they want to get people back into the venue as well. They're very keen.
Our community is extremely resilient. Post the New Year Eve Victorian border closure, the community and business came together and formed a group called Let's Revive Echuca Moama. And to date, that's raised $85,000 to support the tourism sector to market into markets Melbourne to try and attract visitation over this winter.
What we've observed from our perspective is incredible stories of resilience and strength in our industry. A number of operators have done incredible things as they've adapted their business models, as everyone has had to, over the last 18 months to find a way forward. And that's one of the great success stories in the visitor economy in Victoria, is the adaptability of the people in this industry.
With the ending of JobKeeper, the live music and entertainment equipment supply companies desperately need support, urgent support, to help keep their large overheads balanced while international borders are closed and work is minimal.
I'm concerned with, the uptake of COVID vaccinations in that a lot of regional people are really sceptical. And I'm kind of saying to business owners who have been really affected, some of them are saying, well, I'm not going to have the jab. And I'm saying to them, well, unless we close down all the time, there's no other sort of alternate. Let's just all get immunised.
In Queensland, event organisers sit down and work with their local Department of Health person to talk through their projects. In Melbourne, as an industry, we've never met. So we just want to actually sit in a room, come up with guidelines and restrictions that actually work, that are safe, and let events happen.
Look, much of that knowledge doesn't reside in government. It resides with the various sectors of the industry. And that's why I think, you need a forum where it's both got government on it and you've got industry on it, so that that knowledge can essentially be transferred and policy can be developed.